dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom.
So my dear students, today in 8th standard civics, we will be learning the topic the Indian Parliament. We have already studied that the Parliament plays an important role in the parliamentary system of government. And in this chapter, we will discuss the Parliament of India. The Constitution of India has created the Parliament of India. Who created the Parliament of India? The Constitution has created. The Constitution has created the Parliament of India, and the legislature at the national level, that is the level of the central government, is called the Parliament. Try to understand this. The legislature at the national level or level of the central government is called Parliament. And what it consists of? Parliament, President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Altogether, we call it as Parliament or central government. पार्लियामेंट में, लेजिस्लेचर में या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में क्या क्या आता है? तो प्रेसिडेंट, लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा. द प्रेसिडेंट इज एन इनसेपरेबल पार्ट ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. ही और शी कैन नॉट पार्टिसिपेट इन द डिस्कशंस इन ईदर ऑफ द हाउस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. द टू हाउसेस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट आर कॉल्ड द लोक सभा and the Rajya Sabha, as you can see on the screen. So President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now one by one we'll study in detail about Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the first one is Lok Sabha, which is lower and the first house of the Parliament of India. Lok Sabha is the house of representatives directly elected by the people. Hence, the Lok Sabha is called first house. Why it is called first house? Because the representatives directly elected by the people are in the Lok Sabha. जो हमारी अलग अलग कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज है वहाँ से हम इन लोगों को चुन के देते हैं और वो फिर डायरेक्ट लोकसभा में जाते हैं. इट मीन्स दैट वो हमारे डायरेक्ट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स होते हैं वहाँ पर, एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड द फर्स्ट हाउस. द मेंबर्स ऑफ लोकसभा आर इलेक्टेड डायरेक्टली बाय पीपल फ्रॉम द टेरिटोरियल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज. एंड द टेन्योर ऑफ लोकसभा इज 5 years. हर 5 साल के बाद इलेक्शंस होते हैं. Elections take place after every 5 years. These elections are known as general elections. However, there are examples when the Lok Sabha was dissolved before the completion of 5 years. Elections held in such a case are called mid-term elections. Otherwise, general elections. And there are number of reasons behind this, that mid-term elections. नंबर्स जो होते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज के मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट के, वो अगर कंप्लीट नहीं होते हैं जितने चाहिए उतने अगर कंप्लीट नहीं हुए या फिर गवर्नमेंट इस्टेब्लिश होने के बाद वो नंबर कम हो गए तो मिड टर्म इलेक्शंस होते हैं. Lok Sabha is the representative body of the citizens of the country. As per the constitution, there can be a maximum 552 members in the Lok Sabha. Maximum 552, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं. To ensure equal representation to all sections of the community, some seats are reserved for members belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Now, why these seats are reserved? So that the members of these communities raise the question of their community in the Lok Sabha. उनके जो भी प्रॉब्लम हैं उनको रेज कर सके, उस पर डिस्कशन कर सके, उन पर वो क्वेश्चंस डिबेट के लिए ला सके और उनके प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करे, इसलिए कुछ सीट्स रिजर्व होते हैं. इन केस देयर आर नो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स from the Anglo-Indian community, the president can appoint 2 members from this community to the Lok Sabha. Then the next one, Rajya Sabha. The upper Lok Sabha is the lower and the Rajya Sabha is the upper and the second house of parliament. The members of Rajya Sabha are indirectly elected. This one is the basic difference between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also it is very important to understand also. In Lok Sabha, members of Lok Sabha are directly elected from the people, but in Rajya Sabha, these members are indirectly elected. As the name suggests, Rajya Sabha gives representation to 29 states and 7 union territories in India. And thus, the members of Rajya Sabha work as representatives of the constituent states, as it is in the name Rajya Sabha. तो अलग अलग राज्यों के अलग अलग members इसमें होते हैं who are indirectly elected. The total membership of Rajya Sabha is 250 members, and amongst them 238 members are elected from the constituent states and union territories. Out of 250, 238 are elected. वो भी उस particular constituent states और union territories से. Then what about remaining 12? All the constituent states do not get equal representation in the Rajya Sabha. It is proportionate to the total population of each of the state, and remaining 12 members appointed by the president. 238 elected from the constituent states and remaining 12 to complete the number of 250 appointed by the president. And these members are usually experienced and distinguished personalities from the field of literature, arts, science, sports and social work. The members of Rajya Sabha are elected through the system of proportional representation. So here the word proportional representation is important in the Rajya Sabha. And one more important thing about Rajya Sabha, that it is the Sabha which is never dissolved completely, hence it is called a permanent house. पूरी तरह से कभी भी डिसॉल्व नहीं होती है. जैसे लोकसभा में हर 5 साल के बाद इलेक्शंस होते हैं, पूरी तरह डिसॉल्व हो जाता है. दिस इज नॉट देयर इन राज्यसभा. देन व्हाट इज द थिंग? 1/3 members of total membership of Rajya Sabha who have completed their tenure of 6 years retire after every 2 years, and equal number of new members get elected. So the tenure is of 6 years here, which is of 5 years in Lok Sabha. यहाँ पर 6 साल का है. 6 साल कंप्लीट होने के बाद 1/3 मेंबर्स रिटायर हो जाते हैं और फिर से नए उनकी जगह पर आते हैं, और ये चलता ही रहता है. सो इट इज परमानेंट हाउस. बिकॉज द लिमिटेड मेंबर्स ऑफ राज्य सभा रिटायर स्टेप बाय स्टेप, Rajya Sabha can function continuously. Any person contesting for the elections of Rajya Sabha must be an Indian citizen and he must have completed 30 years of age. 30 years of age, completed, and Indian citizen. Then the next, you can easily understand this by this chart, that is Parliament of India. Easy to remember, and if you draw this in your notebook, then you can easily revise the things related with the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. So the first one, Council of States, Rajya Sabha, not more than 250 members. Here you can see. Then 12 nominated by President and not more than 238 representation of states and union territories. Then in the House of People, that is Lok Sabha, not more than 545 or 550 members. Not more than 530 elected representatives of people and 2 nominated Anglo-Indian representatives. Not more than 13 from union territories. Now it is given in our textbook that as per the constitution there can be a maximum of 552 members in the Lok Sabha. 552. Then in this, the next point is functions of Parliament. In the functions of Parliament, after understanding the basics of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, we will now see how it review their functions. And in this, the first one is legislating, then deliberation, then national forum, and executive check. But as per our textbook, the first one, formulation of laws. In order to achieve welfare, the people, and the objectives of the constitution, the parliament has to formulate new laws. Also, outdated laws are repealed, necessary changes are made in some laws, and the process of the formulation of laws has been described in the constitution. So, in accordance to the procedures, the parliament fulfills this primary and important responsibility. Now, as per the changing circumstances of the country or with the change in time, it is very important to make new laws or to change the laws, and that is what is the function of the parliament. Now in this, the next thing, control over council of ministers. The prime minister and the council of ministers are drawn from the parliament, and parliament exercises control over them. The prime minister and the council of ministers are drawn from the parliament, as you can see here in the image. There are multiple ways through which this control can be exercised. It is the responsibility of the parliament to see that the council of ministers does not disregard the parliament and functions under its supervision. And the next one, again, which is very important, amendments to the constitution, that is what change in the constitution. The parliament decides whether to make any amendment, which means change in short, or in simple language, the parliament decides whether to make any amendment to the Indian constitution. The constitution amendment bill is considered to be an important bill, and the parliament discusses why the amendment is required and decides whether to accept it or not. The constitution mentions various ways of amending the constitution, which are as you can see on the screen. Few provisions in the Indian constitution are amended by simple majority of the parliament. अगर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मेजॉरिटी चेंज की तरफ है, अमेंडमेंट की तरफ है, तो वो ईजिली हो जाता है. सो फ्यू प्रोविजंस इन द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आर amended by simple majority of the parliament. Some provisions require special majority, that is 2/3 of the parliament. पार्लियामेंट में जितने मेंबर है उन नंबर से 2/3 मेजॉरिटी उस अमेंडमेंट की साइड में होनी चाहिए, देन ओनली इट कैन चेंज. And then few other provisions are amended by special majority plus consent from more than half of the constituent states. So these are the 3 steps for the amendments to the constitution. And the next point, Speaker of Lok Sabha. In the very first meeting after the elections of Lok Sabha, the members of Lok Sabha elect a speaker like monitor or captain of the Lok Sabha and deputy speaker. Lok Sabha functions under the guidance and control of the speaker. What exactly is the duty of the speaker of the Lok Sabha? Here, Lok Sabha represents the citizens and the speaker represents the Lok Sabha. After getting elected as speaker, he or she has to conduct the business of the house in an unbiased manner. Lok Sabha members have some rights and privileges as the representatives of the people. So it is all in the hands of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha to control and to run as per the law. Apart from this, the Speaker has to maintain the decorum and dignity of the house as well as interpret the rules of daily functioning of the house and work accordingly. So the role of Speaker of Lok Sabha is very important in the discussions, in the debate and in the daily routine of the Lok Sabha. Then the chairman of Rajya Sabha. The chairman exercises a control over the functioning of Rajya Sabha. The vice president is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. And the functions of Rajya Sabha chairman also includes maintaining the discipline in the house, facilitating discussions, giving members a chance to speak. So as same as the Speaker of Lok Sabha. And the next point and the last point of the topic, how does the parliament makes law? Now we saw that the function of the parliament is to make laws, and now here we'll see how does the parliament makes laws. In our country, the parliament is empowered to make laws. To formulate them, a certain system has been adopted, and this system is known as law making process. कोई भी कहीं भी खड़े होकर लॉ नहीं बना सकता. गवर्नमेंट को भी लॉज बनाने की एक प्रोसेस है, and that process is called law making process. A rough draft of the law is prepared initially. This draft or outline is known as draft proposal of the law or bill of law. And there are two types of bills that are primarily introduced in the house of the parliament: money bill and ordinary bill. Now we'll see the process exactly. In order to be converted into an act or in the law, the bill undergoes following process, and that is the first reading, second reading and the third reading. In the first reading, the minister of the concerned department ministry or member of the parliament presents the bill and briefly explain its structure while presenting it. This is called first reading, where there is presentation, presents bill. And if we talk about the second reading, there are two stages of second reading. In the first stage, the objectives of the proposed bill are discussed. In the first one, objectives are discussed. The supporters of the bill give favorable opinions while the opponents discuss the defects and faults in the bill. After the discussion within the House, as per the requirement, the bill is sent to a committee of the House, and then committee report consisting of instructions and recommendations is sent to the House in order to make bill flawless. Now the second phase, in this phase the bill is discussed clause by clause. Discussed clause by clause. So in the first reading, presentation; in the second one, discussion over the objectives and by the clause by clause. Now in the third reading, the bill is discussed briefly. Bill is discussed briefly. Voting is taken for approving the bill. If the bill gets an assent by the required majority, as we saw in the process, then the bill is considered as passed by the House. If the bill undergoes the same procedure even in the other House also, from Lok Sabha to Rajya Sabha, from Rajya Sabha to Lok Sabha, after getting an approval by both houses, the bill is further sent for assent by the President. And if there occurs a difference of opinion between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha or a specific bill, the future of this bill is decided in a joint meeting of both the houses. So it is all in the hands of the members of the parliament, Lok Sabha and of the Rajya Sabha. So after the final assent and signature of the President, the bill is converted into the law and the law is made. In this way, any law pass in our country, there is process for this. So today we are going to stop here only. Subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.